Hey, my name is Courtney and I design sewing patterns with my company, Rooney. Over a year ago, we released the Betty pattern, which is this flowy, beautiful dress for women and for little girls. And along the way, I've just learned a few ways to customize the dress and make it a little different every time. So today I'm going to walk you through just a few of my favorite ways to customize the Betty dress, some tips, and even how to solve the problem if your fabric bolt size is not wide enough for the pattern. So grab the pattern below. There's a printed version and a PDF version if you want to get started today. And I'm going to walk you through my favorite ways to customize the Betty dress. A common problem when shopping for fabric is finding a fabric you love, but the bolt size is too short. So you can find the bolt size at the end of each fabric bolt at the fabric store, or if you're shopping online, you can find the measurement in the description. First, unfold your fabric. You're going to lay the bottom tiers out and cut one tier each. That's one bottom front tier and one bottom back tier. Then you're going to turn your pattern piece over to mirror it onto the fabric and cut once more. You're going to have 4 bottom tiers total, 2 for the front bottom tier and 2 for the back bottom tier. Next, you're going to right sides together, join the seams that were supposed to be on the fold, and sew at 1/4 inch seam allowance. Finish the seam off by serging it or zigzag shears and iron it to one side. Since this is a gathered tier, that's why it works so well, and that's why lining up the pattern can really trick the eye so you don't even see the seam in the finished product. And another way to customize Betty dress is to add cuffs to the sleeves instead of elastic. Elastic is a great option, especially if you have elastic on hand, but if you don't, I love the relaxed feel of a thinner cuff on the arm of the Betty dress. You're going to measure around your forearm where you want your cuff to lay, and this will make sure that it's going to go over your arm easily and be really comfortable for you. Then take this measurement by 2 inches and cut 2 rectangles. Then you're going to fold them in half and then sew 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then fold it once more and press it in place. Next, you're going to attach it to the sleeve by first doing a gather stitch around the opening of the sleeve. And then pulling it to the width of the cuff. Pinning it around the armhole, right sides facing together. Lastly, you're just going to finish this off with a serge or any way you want to finish your cuff. So the Betty dress is a midi length dress originally with the pattern, but I love to make a shorter version for those summer months where it's just so hot outside and you need something a little more breezy and easy to throw on. So an easy way to shorten the Betty dress is to take the top tier and change this measurement according to your height. And an easy way to do it is to measure your height and where you want your dress to stop. So to do this, you can grab a measuring tape and start at your shoulder and see how tall you are. This is easy to do with yourself, or you can have someone help you. And you want to see where the dress will finish. This is including the hem. For myself, I wanted the dress to stop a few inches above my knee. And then you're going to go to your pattern and measure your size. And you're going to measure the bodice and the length of the bottom tier. From this measurement, you're going to remove 1 inch from the bodice and from the bottom tier. This is to allow for seam allowance and to make sure that when you're joining the pieces together, it won't be too short or too long. Next, you're going to take your body measurement of how long you want the dress to be and subtract your new measurement from this. So this is your top tier measurement that you want. Make sure you add 1 inch for the seam allowance And then you're going to come to your pattern, and for the top tier, you're just going to measure and cut a straight line across the pattern. You can also just fold the bottom up at a straight line in case you want to preserve the pattern and you're not moving this to new paper. And the final step is you're just going to sew the pattern according to the directions in the tutorial video and the pattern itself. Then you have a shorter version of the Betty pattern. I think it's so interesting how the shorter layer just gives it a different look, and it's very versatile. Similar to shortening the dress, there's also the option to lengthen the Betty dress. If you're a little taller or you just want a maxi length dress, this is so simple to do. All you need to do is find the final measurements on the pattern, and this is found on your PDF document, and you will add 3 to 4 inches or more according to how tall you are and how long you want your dress to be. Now you're going to take a straight edge ruler and copy the bottom tiers of the front and the back to paper and trace this line and add the length that you're looking for. You can just follow the natural line of the pattern, and this is your new pattern piece that you want to make as your bottom tier for the front and the back. You're going to follow the directions according to the tutorial video and to the pattern directions. If you're looking for a more fitted look, adding ties to the side of the Betty dress is a really simple way to make it look a little more fitted or give it a new look. So this is so simple to do. It's similar to how you're making ties for the V-neck, but you're gonna do it for the sides, and I'm gonna show you a really simple way to do this. All you're going to do is cut the ties to measure 2 inches by 24 inches to 28 inches. If you want longer ties, go for the longer measurement. If you want shorter ties, go for the shorter measurement. This is up to you. Now you're going to cut a piece of paper, and this is going to be a little wider than the fabric. Make the folds that I'm showing you here. And you're going to use this as a guide as you continue the entire length of the ties and sew along the side at about 1/8 of an inch. Now when you go to construct your dress, you're going to insert these on the side seams before you sew the side seams together. Make sure when your dress is right sides facing one another, you insert these towards the inside, and you're going to sew these securely below the bodice piece. Now you have ties to make your dress a little more fitted if that's the look you're going for. A popular question about the Betty dress is how to make it nursing friendly. I have made a full tutorial video about this that I'm going to link here, and it's with buttons. So this is a great way to practice sewing buttons and sewing buttonholes. It's not as intimidating as it sounds, but you definitely want to do some practice on some scrap fabric before moving to your final garment. This is also a great way to change up the Betty dress, even if you're not nursing and you just want a different look with some buttons. You can add the buttons on the bodice only or the length of dress. It's up to you. In a few months, we have some new pattern tops coming for the Betty dress. So you can use this one pattern in like 5 different ways to make completely different dresses, but use one pattern. And a few of them will be nursing friendly. You can make the Betty dress easily as a top by measuring where you want the bodice to finish and also changing the length of the top tier to be this ruffle on the top. I have loved nothing more than seeing you make the Betty dress over the past year, and I've loved to see just the little tweaks you've made, the fabric you've chosen, and I've loved to just see the process of you choosing to take the time to make something for yourself, for your daughter, and enjoy the process along the way. I would love to hear how you're customizing your own Betty dress and the fabrics that you're choosing. So if you want to see the full Betty dress tutorial, you can click this video here.